Welcome to Qimen Dunjia. Hello, my name is Dougles Chan. Today's topic we're going to cover is related to this thing called emptiness in a Qimen Dunjia. How do we see whether this emptiness, some people they call it void, V-O-I-D, void, to see whether this Qimen Dunjia chart is a valid chart or not a valid chart, and whether this chart itself within the palace itself, is it a real emptiness or is it a fake emptiness? And what happens if that's based on Taisui itself, basing on the Qimen Dunjia, the particular year, what will really happen? Today, I'm going to give you one case study related to this emptiness and how does this Taisui comes in if something happens during that year. All right, allow me to share this screen with you. Basically, I will be sharing one of this Qimen Dunjia chart, basing on this example itself, which is plotted, and then I divide them into these two different parts so that you can see this chart very clearly. So in this chart itself, if we base on a particular divination, in any divination that we are looking at using Qimen Dunjia, under normal situation is that we are supposed to look at the hour stamp, which is over here. At this point of time is Kui. Kui itself, that means we have to look at box 4, which is telling us that box 4 energy, this is the respective answer that we are supposed to look into. However, because this is an emptiness, what is an emptiness? Emptiness is something which is actually over here. This particular circle over here is called an emptiness. So in the Qimen Dunjia rule of thumb is this: if you have this emptiness within the box itself, it's telling us that the box 4 itself, the energy is actually no longer 100%. So we need to look at the opposite box. For this case, we have to look from box number 4 and look at the opposite box over here to see what is the real energy in such situation. So we will have about 20 to 30% of energy in box 4, which after being discounted, and we will have to look at box 6 itself, which is over here, that it will be about 60 to 70% of energy. So in a divination, we will typically look at such kind of information provided basing on the 20-30% of the particular palace and 60-70% of the opposite palace. And from there, we do a overall answer analysis basing on the chart given. So this is a very typical way of doing a Qimen Dunjia chart basing on the answer. However, there are a lot of situations whereby sometimes this particular emptiness is actually not a real emptiness. That means during the year of Taisui. What is the year of Taisui? Taisui means that every year there's a specific stem, there's a specific branch will have a Taisui. That means in this case itself, for this particular chart that is being plotted, there are a couple of Taisui involved. So one example is this. In the year of Kui, or in the year of Sing, and in this case, the emptiness actually will be filled. It will be filled, which means that this particular emptiness no longer actually applies anymore. So in this case itself, we have to see the chart in a very different manner, whereby it's no longer an emptiness. We have to look at box number 4 as an answer 100%. And another way to look at it, whether is it going to be a Taisui year or not, we have to look at the branches. The branches every year will rotate depending on what is being reflected. So in order for this circle or this emptiness to be filled under the branches category for this chart only, we will need to look at Chen year and then Si year, Si. Let me write it down. CHEN, Chen year, Si year, which is in box number 4. And then we also have to take a look at box number 6. What is the hidden year over there? Which is Qi Xi year and Hai year. So during the situation of Hui and Xing, any of this particular symbol actually reflected at that particular year. For example, this year you will have example Xing year. Then in this case, when the chart is shown, then we have to take into account the energy over here in box 6 itself overflows to box 4. And then they clash onto the emptiness and make the emptiness actually disappear. So in this case of Qimen Dunjia, we have to respect all the Taisui, where the stems, where also the branches. So basing on that, we have to see whether this particular chart, the emptiness is actually fake or not. So in this case, it's based on the Taisui year, that means this emptiness is a fake. Then we have to cross out the emptiness. And from there, we have to analyze the situation basing on a different perspective. Okay, so much for this understanding this Taisui and this emptiness for Qimen Dunjia. Thank you for watching.